It's time to get unstuck. Do you love listening to this podcast? I'd love to have you give me a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. And if you'd like to help me keep the lights on, I'd appreciate a donation. You can do that at livingmoonmeditation.com/podcast. Are you tired of feeling stuck? Let's shift your energy. Start with my free quiz I made just for you. You'll get personalized tips for getting unstuck based on where your blocks are. You can find it at bit.ly/getunstuckchakraquiz. I have the link in the show notes for you. Let's talk about money. How do you feel when I say that? Seriously, think about it. What feeling comes to your mind when I say money? Maybe it's a nice little flutter in your belly at the thought of what money can do for you. Or maybe you get a sick feeling at all the corruption and greed around money. Both of these are valid feelings, but I believe that only one of them is beneficial. So there's a lot of people in the spiritual community who hate money. They hate capitalism, they hate greed, they hate corruption, and at the root of it all, they hate money. And I get it. I fucking hate greed and corruption. They're awful things. I hate it when people take advantage of others and use money as a means to do it. But money isn't the problem. Money is energy. That's it. And like any energy, money isn't inherently good or bad. It simply exists. Good and bad are arbitrary values that we assign to money and other energies based on our own experiences. We can all think of examples of people with lots of money who have done terrible things with that money, or who haven't helped those in need. People who have tons of money yet hoard it for themselves, or use it in ways that don't really benefit themselves or society. Then there are people like Dolly Parton, saint that she is. That woman gives away a shit ton of money. She does such wonderful things for people, all because of and using the money that she has been given in this lifetime. In both of these scenarios, the constant is money. Money didn't do anything. The variable is the intent of the person with money. People like Dolly are genuinely kind people who want to help others, and they use the tools and energies that come their way for that purpose. Many of us have a problem with money. We have a wound around it. Part of this is from trauma surrounding the lack of money. For others, it's conditioning around money. So often we hear that the Bible says that money is the root of all evil. Well, you know what? That's not what the Bible says. Now, I sometimes feel funny spouting Christian Bible verses these days, but I used to be one, so I can do that. And here's what the verse really says. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Now, if you're curious, that's 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, but that's neither here nor there. But notice what it said. For the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money that is the root of evil, but the love of money. What does that mean? Greed. Loving money equates to greed. If you love it, you want to hoard it and keep it for yourself. If you don't love it, you look at it as a tool, as an energy. Then you know that sharing it and giving it away isn't going to hurt you. It's like air or water. You breathe air. You drink water. They don't go away. They are part of a cycle and come back to you. The same is true for money. You use it, you spend it, you give it away. It's going to come back to you at some point. All energy flows in a cycle. Sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less. That's just how these cycles work. So I mentioned money wounds. What exactly is that? It's all the negative thoughts and thinking we have surrounding money. And it's important because unhealed money wounds can keep us stuck in a cycle of lack. Here's an example. Let's say you grew up hearing your parents and grandparents always saying you couldn't do whatever it was because money doesn't grow on trees. You could have wanted to take dance lessons, but money doesn't grow on trees. Your family never took vacations because money doesn't grow on trees. In these situations, you can grow up to either be irresponsible with money because you're tired of never experiencing anything, or you can end up being so careful with money that you develop a belief that it's extremely hard to earn and you have to work very hard to get any. And with the second mindset, you set yourself up for staying in toxic work situations, playing it safe, or missing opportunities that could lead to easy wealth because you just don't see them or you don't believe that they exist. Money wounds show up as fear that you'll never have enough money for what you need, shame that you earn decent money that you don't deserve, belief that you are unworthy because you don't have certain things, and anger for having to pay money for certain goods and services. And for business owners, money wounds can show up as shyness or unwillingness to charge money or receive payment for your work. This is damaging because you likely had to pay to receive the training for what you do, and also because, like it or not, our society is currently set up in a way that requires money to live. You can't pay your bills with or eat love and light. You just can't. It takes money. So what do you do if you have one or more of these fucking little money wounds? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Like physical wounds, spiritual and energetic wounds can be healed. It takes work and effort, and it doesn't happen overnight. The first step is getting on a first name basis with these wounds. Take the time to do a deep dive into your beliefs around money. Once you know what your thought patterns are, you can work to change them. Surround yourself with people who have success with money. Learn from them. It's a great way to build a positive mindset, and it actually works with changing your mindset about anything. I also recommend my program Flow. It's an 8-week yoga nidra journey to support you in healing your money wound. I also recommend working with a coach. As a shamanic coach, I'd love to help you with this. You can check out the show notes for links to Flow or on working with me one-on-one. Here's the thing. Money is an energy. It's not good or bad. It just is. And energy can neither be created nor destroyed, and there's no limit on how much there is. Someone having a shit ton of money doesn't mean that there isn't enough for you. You deserve abundance, and that includes financial abundance. If you aren't experiencing that, then you need to figure out what money blocks and wounds are holding you back. And no matter how you decide to do it, I'm rooting for you to heal those wounds and start flowing with the energetic abundance of money. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Get Unstuck with Michele Leffler. It's truly been my pleasure to talk to you today. If you like this episode or you think it will be useful for someone else, please consider leaving a review on your favorite podcast app. If you've got any questions, send me an email to hello@livingmoonmeditation.com. Here's to getting you unstuck so you can be grounded, joyful, and energetic. See you next time.